Have you ever smiled in church but cried in your room? Have you ever lifted your hands in worship but felt like your heart was too tired to keep going? This message is for the Christian who is exhausted, not sinful, not rebellious, just tired. Tired of serving, tired of praying the same prayer, tired of believing for something that hasn't happened yet, tired of being strong for everyone else. And maybe, just maybe, you're thinking about quitting. Not quitting God completely, just stepping back, just disappearing quietly, just saying, "I've done enough." If that's you, stay with me, because heaven has something to say to your exhaustion. In Galatians 6:9, the Apostle Paul writes, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Notice something powerful. Paul didn't say, "if you get tired." He said, "don't grow weary." That means weariness is expected. You can love God and still feel drained. You can obey God and still feel overlooked. You can do good and still feel unrewarded. The enemy whispers, "Look at you. Nothing is changing. Why are you still praying? Why are you still serving? No one notices anyway." But heaven says, there is a harvest coming. Here's the tension. You are tired because you've been sowing, and sowing always comes before reaping. Farmers don't see crops the next day. There's dirt, there's waiting, there's uncertainty. But underneath the soil, something is growing. What if your breakthrough is underground right now? In Matthew 11:28, Jesus says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Notice who he calls. Not the strong, not the perfect, not the "I have it all together" Christians. He calls the weary. Jesus is not disappointed in your exhaustion. He is inviting it. Some of you feel guilty for being tired. You think, "A real Christian wouldn't feel this way. If I had stronger faith, I wouldn't be drained. If I really trusted God, I wouldn't want to quit." But Jesus never shamed the tired. He said, "Come," not "perform better," not "pray harder," not "be stronger," just come. Maybe the reason you're tired is because you've been carrying something He never asked you to carry alone. You've been carrying ministry, carrying family pressure, carrying financial stress, carrying expectations, carrying silent battles. And today, Jesus is saying, you don't have to collapse to get my attention. Just come. In 2 Corinthians 4:16, Paul says, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day." Outwardly tired, inwardly renewed. This is the paradox of the Christian life. Your body can be exhausted, your emotions can feel drained, your ministry can feel heavy, but inwardly, God is strengthening something invisible. We think strength looks like energy, but biblical strength often looks like endurance. Anyone can shout when the breakthrough comes, but only the deeply rooted keep believing when nothing changes. You might feel like you're barely holding on, but hear this clearly. Holding on is still faith. Crying and praying is still faith. Resting and returning is still faith. You don't lose heart by feeling tired. You lose heart by walking away from the one who renews it. Let me speak directly to you. You who serve in church but haven't felt joy in months. You who lead worship but feel spiritually dry. You who pray for others but feel unheard. You who love God but feel distant. You are not weak. You are human. Even Elijah wanted to quit. Even David felt abandoned. Even Paul felt overwhelmed. But none of them were rejected for feeling tired. They were strengthened in it. What if this season is not proof you're failing, but proof you're fighting? What if heaven is more proud of your quiet endurance than your visible success? God sees the unseen tears, the silent prayers, the times you almost quit but didn't. And Galatians promises something powerful. There is a due season. Not your season, not social media's season, not someone else's timeline. Your due season. The enemy wants you to quit right before it. What if the harvest is closer than your feelings suggest? Now let's make this personal. Have you ever noticed that when you decide to stay faithful even when tired, something shifts? Maybe not externally, but internally. There's a quiet strength that forms when quitting was an option and you chose trust instead. That strength becomes your testimony later. The tears you cry today become the comfort you offer tomorrow. The endurance you build now becomes the authority you walk in later. So before you quit, ask yourself, am I truly done or am I just tired? Because tired people need rest, not resignation, and Jesus offers rest. Now, I want to talk to you directly for the last minute. Let's make this a conversation. Be honest with me in the comments. Have you ever felt like quitting your faith, your ministry, or your calling? What made you feel that way? And here's the deeper question. What has kept you holding on? Was it a verse, a worship song, a friend, a moment with God? I want you to comment one word that describes how you're feeling right now. Tired, hopeful, numb, waiting, trusting. And if this message spoke to you, not because you're strong, but because you're exhausted, then you're exactly who this channel is for. Subscribe if you want more honest, biblical encouragement for real-life faith. Not polished faith, not perfect faith, but persevering faith. Because harvest comes after perseverance. And you, yes, you, are closer than you think. Don't quit. Rest. Return. And let Him renew you.